aiming here is wrong, but it's also the reason why it's difficult to consistently play shots accurately. The question here is, can you visualize this shot if you're already standing out of position? Not when the position of your stance has a direct effect on the position of your cue. Meaning if you can get your stance in a good position, then your cue should automatically be on line with the shot, and it just makes it a lot easier to aim. I need my cue to be in a straight line to where I'm aiming on the red before I get into this position. The aiming is over and I just need to focus on where I'm aiming and make sure I hit it. Here's how it works. If we line up a shot like this one to about there somewhere, before we get to the table, it means we're also aligning our stance at the same time. And as we've already seen, if you get the stance in the correct position, it just makes it a lot easier to pot the ball. It's not guaranteed, but it makes it a lot easier. And this is my first goal for the season, to look at where the cue ball needs to strike the object ball before I stand in position on every shot I play. At the beginning of every season, I choose 5 things that I want to improve upon by the end of the year, and this can be anything from physical parts of my technique to the purely psychological. Each goal, I believe, is something that can help my game, just so long as I can get it right. And the first of these is aiming the shot before I get to the table, which gives me the best possible chance to be standing in a good position. And the second is all about aiming as well, but this time, once I get behind the shot, I want to make sure I'm still focusing on where I need to strike the object ball, because here there are a lot of distractions. Like I could be worried I might miss it to one side or the other. I could be worried about which positional shot I'm going to play, or possibly be distracted by the fact that I might lose the cue ball behind the blue and run out of position like that. And when I'm focusing on all of these things, it can be quite easy to not focus on the pink and miss the shot. Even when I've lined the shot up before I go and stand in position, I can just lose my focus and looking at the red and not really be paying much attention to it. And if you ask me after the shot where am I hitting the red, I simply won't know. So I want to make sure that when I'm down on the shot, I am actually focusing at striking the object ball and I'm not looking away at something else. Basically, my second goal is to just concentrate and make sure I know where I'm striking the object ball. But there's something else I need to do after I've struck the object ball. Avoiding distraction. In the last year, I've started to notice more and more, especially on angled shots like this one, you can put yourself off by watching the path of the object ball and unintentionally straighten it up slightly. Put simply, what I think is happening when the shot needs to go to the left, like on this shot, and obviously you need to hit the object ball on the right for it to do that, is you're looking around about here because you're watching where the black is going to go because it moves at quite a speed. So I think the trick to it is, instead of watching where the black goes, instead to just watch the cue ball after it's struck the black. So we're going to watch the cue ball onto the black, and then we're just going to watch the cue ball. Because then all of a sudden we're not looking and predicting the position of the black and where it's going to go. We're looking at something else completely, and we should, in theory, just play the shot as intended. It can be a little bit difficult to understand why watching the cue ball after it's struck the object ball can prevent you from being distracted, so I'll link a video at the end that explains a lot more about it. Only helping side. I've noticed occasionally I'll miss because I've played a shot with the wrong side. But which side is wrong? And why do we say it's not helping? This is a shot we're going to play with left-hand side. We call this helping side because the object ball needs to go to the right and we're hitting it on the opposite side to the left. The opposite side is always helping side because it helps cut the ball more towards the angle you're playing it. So left-hand side makes the object ball go further to the right. Right-hand side makes the object ball go further to the left. Recently I've been making a lot of headcam videos where it's really obvious to see where I'm striking the cue ball, and a lot of shots where I think I'm striking the ball in the centre, I'm actually playing with quite a bit of side spin. And yes, this is unintentional side spin. What I've noticed is I'm doing either one of three things. To start off with, intentionally playing a shot with side spin. Now this could be left or right hand side. The second thing I'm doing is intending to play a shot roughly centre ball, but playing it with a small amount of helping side, in which case I usually pot the ball. And the third thing I'm doing is playing the shot with the wrong side. Like here I could be playing a shot with left hand side and the shot's going to the left. And usually I find this causes me to miss. This means on shots I want to play roughly plain ball, I'm not going to worry too much if I hit them perfectly straight or not. I just want to make sure that I'm not putting the wrong side on the cue ball. So I'm either hitting them plain ball or I'm playing them with helping side. So with an angle to the right like this one, I don't want to unintentionally be putting right hand side on the cue ball because this is the wrong side. I either want to strike the cue ball in the centre or strike it slightly to the left with helping side, because either way that shouldn't stop me potting the ball and getting in position on the blue as I intended. The small mistakes. In a recent game I played, I ended up in this position on the black, but I didn't hit the black hard enough. And that meant in potting this red, I just slightly had to flick off those two reds there in order to get on the black, but that put those two reds safe. Now remember this, because I'm either going to call this the little or the tiny error. Despite this, I managed to keep in good position and clear all the other balls, but that left me with a problem. I still had these two reds together that wouldn't really go, and I had to open them up, and I ended up in pretty good position on a black like this, but unfortunately I missed the black, opened up the reds and lost the frame. And this of course is the big error. Now the problem with this is it wasn't the big mistake, I should never have missed the black, that there was a problem. The problem was the tiny mistake at the start where I cannoned the red into a safe position. Without that I would almost certainly have cleared up and won. My fifth goal is to accept that given enough time you can't avoid the big mistakes. Like that blue. It's a shot I definitely have the ability to pot, but if I'm trying to play the cue ball around the table for the two reds, it's going to go wrong every now and again. What I need to focus on more is the small mistake, like getting top side of the blue. The fact that I ended up the wrong side of the blue there was the small mistake that I can do something about. And I just need to focus on the small mistakes in my break building, and I'm going to be playing a lot better. Before we do any more, let's just find Tiago from Lajeado, Brazil, which is there. So my goals for the season are, firstly, to make sure I've lined the shot up before I'm standing in position at the table. Secondly, to make sure I'm concentrating on where I'm aiming when I actually get to the table. Thirdly, to aim for the object ball, but once the cue ball strikes the object ball, to then follow the path of the cue ball. Fourthly, to avoid using the wrong unintentional side spin. So here where the shot's going to the left, I definitely want to avoid left hand side. I want to hit the ball in the centre ideally, but it doesn't matter too much if I use a bit of right hand side here, which is helping. And finally, to avoid big errors by getting the small stuff right. If you want to know more about lining the shots up and why it can help to follow the path of the cue ball, then have a look at these two videos. And remember, don't just watch, play, and make the commitment to becoming a better player by subscribing to the channel and visit the website. See you later.